what's going on, everyone? This is Alex Johnson over at Thomson Motor Center. I have a special one for you today. This is a 2023 Dodge Charger Scat Pack, the Super B model. What's cool about this package, this is the second of 7 of the final edition last call models that they unveiled starting at the end of 2022. This is number 2, which is shared also with another Super B. It is a narrow body in B5 blue. This one being the wide body, of course, it's in Plum Crazy Purple. You do have the graphics to where they are bright white instead of like on the blue one where it was kind of like a ghost graphic, which is really sick to have it stand out the way that it does on this car. Of course, it is Scat Pack, so 485 horsepower coming from a 6.4 liter HEMI V8. Also being the wide body on this, you do get this really just aggressive, honestly badass front end with that mail slot grille in it. Of course, this does have all of your sensors because this does have adaptive cruise and lane keep on this particular model as well. But they did throw in some retro throwback. So you do have your hood pin kit, which comes standard on these Super Bs. As you can tell, it's on both sides. Also, what's kind of cool about this, you get a functional hood scoop along with the heat extractors right on the hood, along with having the Super B emblem right on the center of the hood. Some other cool things with the Super B package, you do get the standard 18-inch wheels with the drag or street legal drag radials on it. These are Nitto P315/40 R18s, and that is on all 4 corners. A lot of people really like this look because it does have original 2018 Demon vibes to it. This, of course, does have the Brimbos on it and everything as well. If I show you the interior, it's actually really sweet in here. So, of course, you got all of your leather with all really nice stitching and everything. Do have memory seats, of course, all your window controls. But right in here, you do have your leather and Alcantara heated and cooled power seats. As you can tell, that Super B emblem is, of course, right on the seat again. If I switch over to the steering wheel, it is a leather wrap steering wheel with a flat bottom, which I love to see that. Your adaptive cruise controls right there. And if you notice a little bit farther in, it does have all of the carbon fiber on the dashboard, along with right by your shifter. You do have drive modes, launch, and your lane keep controls all right here as well. Something else I would like to show off with this hood, it's kind of small Easter egg that I really haven't seen anybody else talk about. Of course, this is the hood with the heat extractors and the functional vent right here. But if you look at the underside, this is a Scat Pack, okay? It says SRT. And the reason for that, this is a Hellcat hood. It is a production factory Hellcat hood, which they threw on the Super B model, so you can get the heat extractors along with the intake, which does go right here. But it does have a closed box system on this particular vehicle right here. But as you can tell, there's your 6.4 liter HEMI sitting right underneath the hood. Now I'm going to show you inside the back seat of the Charger Super B. As you can tell, it's a pretty standard Charger rear seating. You still have all the nice leather with the stitching. Still have your leather and Alcantara seats, along with your cup holders right here as well. You do have USBs along with your air vents back here as well. But as you can tell, pretty standard Charger rear end. And something I don't see shown too often either, of course, it's a key for it. But if I pop open the trunk, in the rear, there is a ton of room back here. Of course, you can lay down the second row seating, but if you look straight down and pull this, this is where you have more storage. You have your tire inflation system right here, along with your battery is under here as well. You do have a little hook, which is pretty nice in case you do need access down there. But whenever you want it up, you just take it off. There's a little spot right there for it. Clicks in place, goes right back down. And then of course you have your handle right there. I did also want to show just a couple things that are inside this system, which is a little bit different than a normal Scat Pack. So if I go down here to drive modes, if I push that, go right back up here, of course, launch control, line lock, you have your shift light button, performance pages, race options, drive modes. But I did want to show, of course, you got your track mode that you're able to just go to, sport. If I click this, go to track, you have transmission, paddle shifters, traction control, steering, or sorry, suspension, and then steering. Suspension is what's a little bit different than most Scat Packs, because this does have the adaptive suspension in this, because it is a drag car at the end of the day. You know, that's why they built it. This is why it has the street legal drag radials from Nitto on it. I can also show you can go to track mode setups, and you can do this on all of them to where you're able to go sport setup, and there's not much you can change, but it is nice that you have that. Of course, if I go to race options, line lock, launch control, and then of course shift light, which you can set up what RPM you want your shift light to turn on to. If I go back to the drive modes button, that's where I can open up performance pages. That's probably one of the easiest ways to get to it. There is a separate menu option built into the screen, but the drive modes button is the easiest way to get to performance pages. I really like performance pages, and one of the main reasons why, it kind of shows you quite a bit about the vehicle, which you don't always get to see. So you do have your drag, which is going to be reaction time, 60 foot, 330 foot, 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile, and it will tell you your speed, along with, like, for example, your 330 foot on this one, it says the last one was 7.9 for your 30 foot, which really, as you can tell, we take care of these vehicles. We don't race them down the street, nothing like that. So you can tell 1/4 mile and 63 miles or 63 miles an hour, you can tell that's not that fast. You do also have acceleration and braking, which you can see brake distance and brake from your miles per hour, 0 to 60 and 0 to 100. But then also you get gauges where you're able to check multiple things. You have 2 pages of it, like trans temp, intake, air temp. G-forces, which is pretty cool because you can tell what kind of G-forces you're doing while you're driving. Along with it does tell you a steering angle, so if I move the wheel, as you can tell, it is moving around. You also do get engine, which is kind of cool because, you know, it tells you, of course, your oil pressure along with your horsepower and torque, how fast you're going on this side, and also what gear you're in. But then my favorite one is dyno. And the reason why, shows you your horsepower and torque up here, and where it was on the graph down here is going to tell you your RPM and what gear you're in. So if I go ahead and just shift over to reverse real quick, so you can tell it goes to reverse. If I shift over to drive, you have reverse, and then you also have 1. If I switch to neutral, it tells me. If I switch to park. So it's kind of cool that it tells you all that, along with if I just kind of blip the throttle even just a little bit, it goes up a little bit, you know, so nothing too crazy or anything like that, but it's nice that you're able to see this, along with you can have more showing than just 30 seconds. So if I went to 2 minutes long, you can see how long it's been running. Plus you are able to save it by pushing this button right here. Of course, we don't have anything in here, so it's not going to be able to save it to anything. So you can tell, no media storage. What you do with that is in here, you have your USBs right there that you would plug into. And of course, the rest of this is normal for Uconnect 4. If any of you are familiar with it, it's a very easy and self-explanatory infotainment system. It's probably, in my opinion, my favorite one that you're able to use. Everything is just showing up that you're able to see and that you could just swipe through just like a normal smartphone. Climate control up here, along with having it right there as well. Well, I definitely appreciate you guys staying around for this video and everything. By the time I post this, I will be almost at 100 subscribers, and I just passed the 30,000 view mile mark. So I definitely appreciate everyone who has been watching the channel and helping me kind of grow a little bit. I know I'm a pretty small channel. I just work at a small CDJR dealership in Thomson, Georgia. But if you guys ever have any cars that you want to see me review, if we got them, I will happily do whatever review that you guys would like. But again, this is Alex Johnson over at Thomson Motor Center, and thank you guys so much for watching.